I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. As always, welcome by the one and only man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. It is Angel Ortega. We got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, boys. And by a lot, really just UFC 306 and a bunch of news. That being said, we are brought to you by two quick sponsors of the show, Rogue Energy and ELYXR. Rogue Energy keep me fueled up, whether I'm at home or at the gym. They get me to the finish line. They can get you there as well with code Soundoff at checkout.
Oh, man, look at that product placement.
Yeah, I know. Real, professional over here. And look, man, ELYXR, the exact opposite. They're going to get you really high with their Delta 8 products. But once again, code Soundoff, all caps, when you spell the name at checkout for 10% off. All caps, code Soundoff at RogueEnergyandELYXR.com. Well, Angel, we finally saw it after months of hype, after months of expectations. We finally got to see it. Turkey Al Sheikh's Riyadh season presents Noche UFC. Look, man, I there was a lot of talk going into the card. Was the card as good as it should have been? You know, what was the presentation to give up to the hype? I thought it did. I really thought that the Sphere was a great it was a great thing, honestly.
It was a good experience. It was even a good experience from home.
Yeah, it was a good experience, and I think that a lot of the graphics, some people were like, "Oh, is he going to take away?" I didn't think it took away.
Not really,
anything.
No. I don't know how it would have been being there. I feel like being there is also like the big thing, right? Like the experience of the Sphere, right?
Yeah, and obviously watching it at home is so much different from being there, and it's like
it was still wild though.
Oh, absolutely. And look, man, they had all the, all like the history of Mexico, and they had a lot of like the, what would it be?
Did you watch any of the little movie segments? That
I did. I liked most of them except for like the last one.
Yeah, they were. It wasn't as good as the ones leading into it. Yeah. Obviously, they definitely didn't close it out as well as they could have.
I agree.
But really good. By the way, the guy who narrated this, I didn't even know this until I heard Luke Thomas talk about it. Is Gael Garcia Bernal. He's a big time Mexico actor.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
one of the probably one of the most well known, one of the most famous at that.
Damn.
He was doing the narration. I was kind of wondering because when I was listening to him, like, this narration kind of sounds familiar because he's done a lot of American shows now and shows in English. So his English has improved a lot over the years. And when I found out he did the narration, I was kind of like, oh shit! Like I didn't even know. I was like, that's fucking cool that they got him to do that. Michael Bay was there, by the way. Like, what the fuck was he part? Did he help direct
Transformers?
I know there was no explosions there. I was surprised.
That's so funny. I was just thinking about Transformers the other day. Shout out Shia LaBeouf.
Right.
I saw that so the Transformers movie, like I saw they're coming out with like a new one, and I was like, who the fuck in the year of our Lord 2024 still watches Transformers?
I mean, I like that shit, but I quite a while back.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I looked it up. Last year they had a movie came out.
Yeah, I remember.
Their budget was $150 million.
Was it the one with like the dinosaur kind of mecha?
I think so, but I didn't hear anything about this movie.
Or was it the one that was in Cybertron? I can't even remember.
I can't remember. I heard nothing about the movie. Point being,
it didn't do good.
It made $400+ million. There's a whole other world out there that we don't know about, Angel.
Well, you gotta think about children, dude. You gotta think about children. Children are a big market.
You're right. Still being, regardless, shout out to Michael Bay. Shout out to everybody at the Sphere, which, by the way, Oscar De La Hoya in the building. Yeah. Jake Paul in the building, in disguise for some reason. Yeah, man, it was a fun night. That being said, in the main event, not a fun time for the Sugar Sean O'Malley. Ends up losing the bantamweight title by unanimous decision, 49-46, 48-47, 48-47. I feel like the 48-47 doesn't... I mean, I could see how you can get that scorecard, but I feel like that didn't perfectly encapsulate how one side of the fight was.
I mean, but at the end of the day, like, the right guy won the fight. Don't get me wrong. It's still a worry, right? Because of what could end up happening.
Yeah, I mean, but still, point being, Merab came in there with a good game plan.
The big swing round was like, or not the swing round, but I would say the kind of like round that the other judges kind of gave was the third round. Yeah. I don't remember that. I need to go back and watch it. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
But afterwards, because I was like, I get the fifth without a doubt. Because
the
fifth round, that's probably the most hurt anybody was at all during the fight.
Exactly. He hurt him in the fifth, and like the only time he seemed to really shake Merab. You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, did you? I saw people making this comparison, and it was kind of interesting because I kind of felt the same way. It was very reminiscent of Leon Bilal.
Yeah, I thought.
And funny, even like the ending part of the fight, right, where like, Leon reverses, gets on top, fucking drops the elbow, and opens up a law.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the same here, but Sean ending the fight with the teeps or throwing the teeps out there. It's the most hurt anybody looked during the fight, and Merab visibly, grabbing his body,
Yeah.
showing discomfort, which was the most like anybody looked in danger at all in that fight. By the way, and another thing, this fight was just weird.
It was a weird fight.
From the get go when fucking Merab and Tim Walsh going at it.
There were a lot of weird fights.
So I can't even remember, but like when he's over Sean with the guillotine and or with the choke, I should say, and Merab steps away too early, and Sean's like, "Oh fuck!" He stepped away
after kissing him.
Still, Sean's like, "There's still time on the clock." He goes after him and hits him, and by the way, I feel like Sean could have got to Merab a little quicker if Herb Dean was in the way too.
Yeah, it was a weird sequence. Merab's a very strange guy. And you kind of saw that on Saturday. Like,
in the fight itself, he was weird the whole time. It was I'm not gonna lie, one of the weirdest championship fights I've ever watched.
Absolutely. And Merab, and it's all because of Merab too. Like
I mean, he created though. He created that, right? He created that environment.
He threw. I don't know if he threw off Sean, but Sean looked flat from like minute one. You know what I mean? And maybe some of that has to do with the fact that Merab was out there doing really weird shit, like kissing him and arguing and fucking with his coach and everything. I mean, to be fair, Tim shouted.
And now we know about a potential O'Malley injury.
Yeah, and I'm sure Merab. Like, here's the thing, dude. Like, everybody in MMA. Here's a little secret. Every single fighter on this card probably came in to fight night with some sort of an injury.
By the way,
small or big.
By the way, Luke Thomas is not on the side that like Sean came out flat. I like bringing this up because there's been several people that who've kind of been like, we don't like talking about this guy on the show a lot for obvious reasons, but MMA Guru kind of felt like Sean came out flat. Dana White kind of said he came out flat. There's been plenty of other people who kind of felt the same way. Luke, I don't want to say Luke didn't agree with that point, but he definitely was like, we kind of, and I completely get where he's coming from, but like, he kind of feels like Merab kind of created that environment, and I feel like yes and no at the same time. Yeah, because I still feel like, I don't know. I feel like for Sean, I feel like he did come out flat. I genuinely do, because there was no risk, there was no nothing, and like I said, it was kind of reminiscent to the Leon fight where like everything was kind of just occurring and he was just there. Yeah. A little sad he didn't throw caution to win. I feel like that's gonna be like another thing we've been seeing a lot of these championship fights where it's like you're clearly down. It's in the fight, like you need to take some sort of risk.
I'm happy you brought that up. That's a thing I've noticed in like, I don't know if it's a new generation of fighter thing, but like it feels like 6-7 years ago, whenever a guy's down and heading into the 5th round, everybody knows, all right, this motherfucker's gonna come out like a bat out of hell. He's gonna come forward. And that's, I mean, the one I always think of, granted, this guy's 1-of-1, but Robbie Lawler gets Carlos Condit, comes out in the 5th round, down on the scorecards, and nearly finishes, ends up winning by decision, which was hilarious. But like, didn't get the finish, but he came out like a bat out of hell, and that's the case of many guys. But it feels like, and could just be different, the type of fighters that they are, but like Adesanya, you know what I mean? Sean here, Leon, even like he mentioned, Leon against Bilal in that 5th round, he got on top. That wasn't exactly him going out there searching for, you know what I mean? Like,
he just kind of yeah. I don't want to say
he didn't fall into that position, but he wasn't exactly trying to search it out to get in that position in the first place. It was a reversal that ended up in that spot. But yeah, man, I don't necessarily think Sean came out super flat in the way that like he wasn't prepared to be there and he didn't want to be there. I think Merab threw him off. Yeah. But at the same time, it is a little bit of each, man. He did not come out as fast as he normally would have. You know what I mean? And to be fair here, he has against wrestlers not done that. Against guys who have good grappling. The first round with Aljamain Sterling, he lost. You know what I mean? Because he was not necessarily afraid, but he was having to deal with the threat of the takedown, and Aljo was kind of just out pointing him for a little bit. You know what I mean? It was like a dominant win, but it wasn't like I said to someone that night, I was like, dude, this is like a dominant win, but it's not like Khabib dominant of like he's holding you down, talking shit to you. No. I mean, this is a good win by Merab Dvalishvili, and it was impressive, but it's not a star-making performance. The UFC coming out of this card, they got the worst possible 2 results for the main and co-main event, honestly. Not in the way that like Merab or Valentina winning are bad, but the way they won. Yeah, especially because how the card started off, like the main card started off so strong. And I saw, like, once again, I'm bringing this guy up again, but Guru was like, like after the co-main, he was like, that completely fucked up the pace of the fight. And like, yeah, it did, but it's like, dude, there's nothing we can do about that. Yeah. No one can do anything about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I mean, we'll get to that fight later and talk about that. That's a whole nother story in itself. But
By the way, like Merab Dvalishvili saying that he thinks Davison Figueiredo should be next for the title. Umar Nurmagomedov in attendance in the UFC sphere. He was even shown on camera.
He was. I don't see a point in discussing that because it's not happening. I mean, Merab, I see what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, I personally, I who did not like the way that Umar was pushed, and I mean, come on, he was ranked number 10 before fighting anybody with a pulse. I mean, that's just it is what it is. But the fact that you go out there and like, what is it, beat the shit out of Corey Sandhagen, won 4 or 5 rounds. That guy's getting a title shot next. There's no question.
I will say, I feel like Davis could have been in the position because I felt like he should have got pushed harder when he transitioned to 135.
I would agree with that.
I feel like he should have been put in those bigger. I mean, he had big fights. Don't get it twisted. I think it is healthy. They kind of let him up to him. But I feel like him being a former champion and all that, he could have been in the position to be fighting for the title a lot quicker.
Here's the truth. If that were any other weight division, but a flyweight coming up, if it was like a lightweight going to welterweight, a former lightweight champion going to welterweight, if it was a former middleweight champion going to 205, they're all getting bigger fights than Davison did. You know what I mean?
Quicker. I least say quicker, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of disrespected my thought by kind of giving him guys who were like...
And granted, maybe he wanted that.
11, you know what I mean? Like guys like...
Maybe he did want that. Maybe he wanted to lead up, ease into the weight class.
Maybe he did. And there are certain fights that, like, for example, like he chose to fight Cody when Cody was unranked. But Cody had won by 2 in a row by knockout. Like, you know what I mean? Former champ. So he was kind
of maybe turning a new leaf.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it. But look, man, as far as Merab, man, good win for him. We'll see what happens next. It's obviously going to be Umar. There's no point.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried to push Davison, even posed off with him like afterwards, the day after. But it's like, it's not.
And the UFC's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to fight in Abu Dhabi next year defending your title,
dude,
bro.
We didn't give Umar 5 straight Dana White Contender Series, guys, just for you to duck him. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, we're not like they give whenever the UFC wants somebody to fight for a title, they'll give him one ranked guy and then they'll fight for the title. That's just the way it works. And Umar beat his ranked man, so it's up next, bro. So we'll see what happens.
I think it's to be an exciting fight, though. It's
stylistically.
I think it's one of the more exciting fights in the whole division.
Stylistically, I have no idea who's gonna win, and for me, that's the most fun thing.
Well, no, I mean, dude, come on.
I don't even think it's a come on moment, honestly.
I don't even, dude. No, but like, let's be honest, dude. Like,
I'm picking Umar. Like,
one guy's comfortable on the feet.
Let me be clear.
And the other guy's like, oh, you want to take me down? Yeah. Go ahead.
Well,
ahead.
Here's the thing, though, man.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing, man. Like, you're talking, but is Merab?
By the way, when was the last time you saw Dagestani get taken down? Like one of the better ones.
I don't know.
Exactly.
But at the same time, if we're talking about chims, Umar nearly got finished by that guy who came in on 3 days' notice before he fought Corey. I mean, that's just...
Talking about Ricky Simone?
Huh?
Talking about Ricky Simone?
No, I'm not talking about Ricky Simone.
Ricky Simone choked him out.
No. I'm talking about Umar Nurmagomedov.
True. That granted, though, guys, he did land that wild shot, but championship.
No, I know. But my point is that you're taking like the worst moments of Merab and being like, this guy can't compete against a guy like Umar. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. Like, Umar,
I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying like, dude, you got a guy who's coming out of one of the best grappling parts of the world in the MMA universe, who is seemingly very comfortable on the feet now. Yeah. Who's to be fighting a guy who's primarily a grappler, can't throw strikes, but they're very wild and not technically sound. Merab's striking is nowhere near the level of Sean's or Umar's. Let's be honest. Yeah, he could throw, but it's like, dude, it's kind of like him. It's kind of the same way Habib used to throw. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But at the same time, that wild style kind of works sometimes.
It does. You're not wrong.
Good enough to beat Sean O'Malley, who was a sniper, who on paper should have beat Merab on Saturday.
Also at the same time, dude, like you've seen these Dagestani group, you've seen these fucking Nurmagomedov guys.
Well,
these guys have shown like little to no weakness.
Like I said, I'm picking Umar to win, but for me, it's
stylistically, it's a crazy matchup.
65-35 pick.
No, you're not wrong. It's a crazy fight.
Like I said, 65% chance I'd give Umar a win.
I wonder.
Like, I think Merab will.
I wonder when they make that happen and where they make it happen.
I don't know. Probably Abu Dhabi.
But they never do fights that early in the year in Abu Dhabi.
Saudi. When did they go to Saudi?
But does Saudi want that fight to be their main event though on their card? That's the other thing. You know.
That's we'll see what Turkey says. When we get Turkey on the line, we'll go.
You know what it'll probably end up being? I mean, they could do a pay-per-view out of Saudi and they fucking do them and then the flyweight title.
I could see that happening. And then they throw in a guy like Nick Diaz on the undercard and
some shit like
that. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But like I said, man, I think to quote the great Brendan Schaub, Angel.
Jesus Christ.
I think when Merab fights Umar, you could be surprised. You may be surprised.
Oh no, I don't disagree. I mean, dude, his Dana White Dana White looking for a fight. He wasn't the one they were looking at. They were going to watch Rufion Stotts.
That's true.
He hit the spinning back fist, knocks out Rufion Stotts. They saw Merab Dvalishvili. Stotts go to Bellator.
Rufion Stotts is a fucking dog. Like that's such a. I want to see the ultimate reality where he's in the UFC.
Who knows?
You know what I mean?
Who knows how the career goes?
So good, but I don't know. I'm really, look. Moving on to the co-main event, full disclosure, like I said, I picked Valentina Shevchenko.
Oh, but we didn't even talk about Sean. We didn't talk about Sean.
Okay, go ahead.
Like,
yeah, go ahead.
What are your thoughts? What's next? I mean, everybody's throwing out Corey Sandhagen. I think that's very simple, but
look, if he's actually taking a year off, I don't even know.
And getting surgery.
If he's actually taking a year off, then I don't know. If he's not, then Corey, obviously. And I don't even give a fuck. You put that on like a main event, pay-per-view main event, I'll buy it.
Someone said that.
That good of a
they were like, "Do you think they do that?" I don't think they do, but
no.
I think they could throw it up there for
co-main 5-round.
Co-main 5-round. That, or they could just do it as a main event when they go out into a big city.
Yeah, Miami, do a fight night there or something.
Arizona, California,
Montana. No, like
Jesus Christ. I mean, Sean's from there.
Exactly. But yeah, man. I mean,
the great state of Montana.
If he's taking a year off and getting surgery, then that's one thing. If he's not, then Corey. It's that simple for me. I mean, I think, and also an underrated thing in this, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes a year off and goes to 145.
That's possible.
He's talked a lot about moving to 145. He said that he wanted to beat Merab and then move to 145. So, we'll see. And realistically,
is it maybe that time already? Damn, this quick, huh?
Dude. It's one of the things you got to think about logically. He's already essentially done everything you can do at bantamweight besides beating presumably Merab and Umar, right? Like he's beaten a lot of the other top guys. He's already been champion, and he's already talked about how big he's getting for 135. Closing in on 30. The time to make the move is probably now. Coming off a loss, and you're getting surgery. You can take that year, recover, and put on some muscle mass. Fight maybe. I mean, he wouldn't get a title shot in his first fight, but he can get a big name. Shit, he could even fight the loser of Max versus Ilya.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he could.
So I'm just saying. It's a bold prediction.
By the way, who would you want to see him fight at 45?
First fight up there, or just in general?
First fight up there. Yeah, fuck it.
We're gonna pull up the rankings, which could be completely different by the time that he would
a year
fight
from now.
A year from now, man.
A rematch, Aljo. Okay, Aljo's about to fight Movzar.
Dude, could you imagine? That'd be so funny. Look, I really like a lot of these fights. I
already got one in mind, but I'll let you say yours first because I want to see if we're different.
So it has to be real. I mean, outside of Max and Ilya, I want to see him fight both those guys. Obviously, the number one and obviously the champion. I'd like to see him fight. This is a weird one. I think him against Brian Ortega could be a banger. I think him against Yair Rodriguez. That was my greatest fight of the UFC.
That was my second pick. Yeah, you're coming off a loss though. He has to get one back here soon. Though.
Exactly. And
when is he gonna fight?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about him either.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I fuck with that a lot. Yair against Sean a year from now. Fuck it, dude. Hey, Sean headline Noche UFC. Do it in Mexico City.
You're not wrong. You can do that.
Put it in like their biggest, fucking city over there, man. I'm down with that. So, but I don't know. Like that's a spitball. That's a kind of a bold prediction for me. I think I could see him moving to 145 upon his return, but also maybe not. Maybe he'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay up here and I'm gonna fight Cejudo, and then
oh my god, they might just fight that. He might just fight Cejudo instead.
That's a big fight, honestly. So I could see that happening.
Well, Cejudo talked about 125. We didn't even talk about that.
Well, I don't see a point. He's not doing it. I think he wants to keep his name in the headlines. There's no fucking way he can make that cut again. There's no way he's making that cut.
Let's say he did make it. Let's say he did a test cut and he made it.
Let's say he makes that cut. Book him against Steve Erceg.
Do you think he did win a title again at this point of his life? At 125? If he can make the weight healthy.
Fuck no. I mean,
really?
If he makes look, he's not going to turn back the clock in that way. He's just not going to. Like even if he makes the weight, you're going to have to contend with Pantoja. And I don't think he beats Pantoja. I think if he was in his
prime, yeah.
Oh, if he's in his prime, he's beating him, but he's not in his prime, and he's 37 years old, so he's gonna.
If he's in his prime, he could probably beat pretty much everybody in this division.
If he's in his prime, he beats every single person in this division. Henry Cejudo was that fucking good, but he's not in his prime, and I think even now, let's say he moves down, let's say he does everything correctly. I think he's
why doesn't he fight Aldo? That'd be a banger fight.
I've thought about that too, but for some reason they're insistent on putting Aldo with guys who I don't really. I mean, I like the Mario Bautista fight.
He
I
could
liked
fight
him.
Davison. That would have been a fight. That's a fight that we never got at.
They have. I don't want to say they fucked up. A lot
I mean,
of
they
these
can't
bookings,
make that
but-
fight now, but you know
No.
what I mean.
But I don't see why they did not do Cejudo Aldo. That one makes so much sense. They used to be booked. UFC 249, remember? Like they had that. They were booked whenever
They should
Aldo
do
was
Cejudo
first
Aldo
fought.
now. That think about it. It makes perfect sense.
It makes so
They're
much
both
sense.
older. Aldo just came back, coming off a win. Cejudo coming off a loss. He wants a big fight.
Yeah.
Dude, that's a major fight. Granted, though, Aldo has a big fight right now. If he wins this fight, he might get a top 5 opponent next.
He might. But you know who's number 6? Triple C. So hey man, we'll see. I like that. I hate the fact that they're giving Jose these lower ranked younger guys. I think like, dude, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. If he's coming back, you're gonna wait. I don't want to say it's a waste, but it's like, dude,
We never
There's
got Dom
so
Cruz,
many good
Jose Aldo
fights.
either.
yeah, like that was rumored for.
By the way, is
for
Cruz
Brazil.
retired officially now?
No, he said he's coming back. He said he's coming
Jesus
back.
Christ.
And I think he even named Aldo as an opponent that he won.
He should get Aldo. WEC never died.
He also won Sean O'Malley too, which
Whew. Not at this stage of Cruz's career.
Sean against Dom. I don't know. I wouldn't hate it.
To be honest, though, if Dom Cruz was in his younger days, Dom Cruz versus Sean O'Malley would be a banger fight in Dom Cruz's prime.
Dom Cruz still ranked number 14, by the way. I just looked that up. That's interesting. I like that. But
By the way,
anyway,
is he one of the longest standing ranked 135ers of all time?
he has to be. I mean, he's been in there since the inception of the rankings. Maybe they took him out whenever
I was about to say, but still, though.
for like whenever he got his
Lifetime, though? He's had it been up there for a long time.
I'm sure.
Nevertheless, though, we continue.
We continue down to the co-main event where Valentina Shevchenko, like I said, I predicted she would defeat ELYXR Grasso.
I turned my back.
And for me, it was a few small things. I thought maybe the moment was going to be too big for her. Maybe she'd come out flat. Obviously, Diego Lopez, her close friend, teammate fight the fight before. It was an iffy fight. Ended up beating the shit out of Brian Ortega, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I never, full disclosure, I made the prediction. I never thought ELYXR Grasso would be that flat on Saturday night. People talk about Sean O'Malley being flat. ELYXR Grasso came out there and was
You want me to tell you something? I thought the second fight would be this fight
Oh yeah,
at its time.
yeah.
I thought Chev was gonna come like this in the second fight. Another thing,
mhm.
Grasso never got her hands going like she did in the other fights, and
No.
that was one of the main areas she was winning in.
Yeah.
She was able to. She did really well in the grappling exchanges in those previous fights. I felt like she did. This fight, it was kind of funny though. I brought it up. I felt like for a long time, like a big issue for her. She would end up on bottom, and people were on top of her, and she would kind of
Sit in guard.
sit in guard and just be there. Now it's a little different. She's more offensive off her back. She's throwing up submissions, but
No, it's in tight. She almost died.
but I know they gave him a lot of shit for that.
Yeah, Joe was rough, man.
But she was on her back a lot for this fight, and she just couldn't get down from under. And don't get me wrong, she had Chev, I think, and she had her thinking a lot, and had her Chev, on her toes while they were on the ground. But I mean, I can't remember who said it, but in modern MMA, dude, it's just really, really hard to win from underneath these days on bottom, through a guard. I mean, there's guys who can do it. There's gals who can definitely do it, but it's not how it used to be. Where at one point in time, it's you would enter someone's guard like that, and it's like you could win the fight from there entirely.
Yeah,
it's a big rarity these days for anybody to be able to do that. And then let's just say it, man, Chev, fucking god, dude, what a performance! I mean, she didn't get the finish she wanted that she predicted, but it was a dominant 50-45 win over the former champ. I gotta feel for Grasso held that title for a while. Granted, it's because she fought the same person. Tough, all of that, but it was almost 2 years?
She won it last March, so she was coming up on 2 years,
Oh, okay.
like a year and a half.
Okay. Still, though, I mean, she held it for quite a while of only fighting one individual. They had the first. By the way, I didn't even think about this, but they had the first ever women's trilogy. Yeah, I felt for her because I thought she was going to rise to the occasion. I thought she had done all these leaps and bounds and improvements, and then to turn up that performance, it was like the biggest letdown ever. I mean, I can really imagine how she feels. Like, obviously, I am going kind of hard here, but it was disappointing, man. Like, she was let's put it like this: every Mexican fighter could have lost in the card, but if Grasso would have won, that would have been a big W.
Exactly. That's very true. Unfortunately, dude, like, she was flat, man. I mean, I really didn't expect, of all the ways for this fight to go, I never expected it to be a Shevchenko masterclass. Like, I picked her. I thought it'd be a close fight.
It was literally y'all must have forgot.
It literally was. I mean, and here's the thing, man. I've never seen in my time of watching MMA a fighter who is younger in a trilogy fight perform the worst of all three.
That's what I'm
forces.
saying. That's why I didn't think it would happen. And just
like even in the first fight, people correctly point out Shevchenko was winning before the choke, but
yes.
Grasso was hanging in there. And that's why whenever she won, it's like, okay, damn, like, all right, that was crazy, but she was in that fight the whole time. Second fight was razor close, even closer than the first fight.
But it looked like Shev had won, maybe.
It looked like Shev had won, but still ended up being a draw, which I didn't have a problem with at the time. The third fight to come out here, Shevchenko is 36, about to be 37, I believe. She may already be 37. Let me just double check.
I think she's still 36.
She's gonna be 37 in March. She's gonna be 37 in March. A former champion, done all that there is to do. Coming in at somebody younger, she's already lost to. And I mean, unless you're from Guadalajara, she won all 5 rounds. You know what I mean? Like she
50-45
she
her ass.
50-45 her ass, and it's like, man, full props. I mean, she had almost 3 full. I mean, I think the exact number was like 14:46. Like 14 minutes, 46 seconds of control time. Damn near 3 full rounds of just controlling Grasso on the mat. And I understand that's boring to some people. And yes, it is. And I get it. But dude, you're talking about just complete and utter domination from a woman who, I mean, after this one, number 2 all time? Maybe, in my opinion, I think number 2 all time.
I mean, she's no matter what in that discussion for the rest of time.
But just to come back, I mean, it's basically what Nunes did prior to her retirement. Come back, win the belt whenever. And granted, and let me just be clear here, ELYXR Grasso, much better of a opponent to face than Juliana Pena.
In very different ways they were lost too.
Correct. But just full credit, man. I'm so impressed by Shevchenko. Of all the ways for the fight to go, I never thought it'd be domination. Truly, never for a little bit. Like of all the fights on this card, I put this one near the bottom, man. Both fights were close, and for coming in on 30, damn near 37 to go out there and dominate, insane. As far as what's next, it's either Manon Ferro or a 4th Grasso fight. It seems like they're not going to go with another.
Oh, they're not going to. They're not. They're going to let Grasso. They got a few in. I think she's probably going to have to get like 2 wins, and then she's back in. Granted, though, it depends who she beats, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And plus that, we pretty much know at this point that, like you said, Manon Ferro's next. I think if Rose wins over Blanchfield, because I don't know if they could give the title shot to Blanchfield if she beats Rose, but I feel like if
I think they will.
I don't know if that I don't know if I agree with that, but I think that if I mean, granted, there's not like, I mean, what are your options, right?
Yeah, well, that's the other reason why I'm saying
that's the other thing. But I feel like if Rose wins, it's like without a question, shadow of a doubt, push Rose through.
3 in a row, I think.
3 in a row, and then a win over Blanchfield. Big fight for Blanchfield whenever that does happen. That's gonna be we're gonna have a lot of discussions around that time whenever that fight does occur. Granted, though, I don't know if I ever told you this at the time, but we discussed this. I said because if Blanchfield would have won her fight against Manon, I said, or my thought process was, I think if Grasso's still champion, that's a better fight for Blanchfield. But if it's Shev, I don't think Blanchfield is likely to win the title.
Yeah, I think we said that at the time, and I think that's still true today.
Yeah,
like I think for me, Blanchfield Namajunas is a toss up, but I still think the winner will get a title shot, even if it is Blanchfield. Because look at the state of the division. I mean, the division is stacked, but dude, beating Rose Namajunas and what is it? That should be like 7-1 in the UFC at the point. Only lost to the title challenger. Maybe at that point the champion of Manon Ferro. They'd probably give her a title shot. I feel pretty confident in that. Same time though, man. Shevchenko, the sky really is the limit. I wouldn't be surprised if she beats Ferro and does something crazy, like goes up to 35 or because for her at this point, it's like
she's doing side quests now.
She's doing side quests. She's in the final stages of her career. Whatever she does, she's already a legend. Like
she got to be part of history this past week. Like I said, first women's trilogy, got to fight in the Sphere. Like,
and it's insane to think about her longevity, dude. I mean, most of the great other fighters from her era are already done. They're cooked. They're retired or they're past her. Who has she faced in the past that's still around? I mean, Holly's still around, but barely ranked / semi-retired, it seems.
Yeah.
Obviously, Nunes is gone. I know Juliana Pena, she submitted her. She's still around. But, like, most of Shevchenko's, like, who she came into the UC with in, like, 2015, 2014, they're all gone. Like, she's kind of the last of that first wave or one of the last of the first wave. So, for her, it's like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, hey, she goes out there, beats Ferro, and he's like, you know, Kayla Harrison, because I'm assuming at this point Kayla's already the champion, if we're being honest. Probably at this point. No offense to Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington, but come on.
Come on, dude. The title on the line there.
Oh, come on, man.
In a few weeks, though, dude, we'll be talking about it. It's be crazy. The end of the year is a movie. I don't know if you saw that huge list that someone posted on Twitter. The rest of the big fights we got through the year. Yeah. We got through the rough part, man. Now we're in the best part of the year as well, which is the end of the year because they always put on some fucking bangers.
Yeah, they always come through. The summer is like early. Usually you schedule based on watching for like almost 15 years now. It's like early part of the year, a little bit rough. The summer,
the early part of the year can be hit or miss. They can start off with like a banger, but then after it's kind of like
the spring. Maybe the early part of the year they'll put on something big, but the spring it's always typically Summer, July huge. You know what I mean? June typically pretty big. August typically pretty big. Then the fall is kind of and then the end of the year, the winter, they pick the fuck up, and that's what it looks like is gonna happen this year, man. We'll see what happens next with Shevchenko and Grasso. But that being said, man, I am so high on Diego Lopez. We really were talking about maybe Brian Ortega could come in here and give one last vintage performance, and then any hope of that went out the window in the first 20 seconds, like 30 seconds. Diego Lopez rocked Brian Ortega bad and seemingly knocked him out and woke him up in the same combination.
Yeah, I thought that too that night.
Yeah, and woke him up and he hit him early, he hit him often, and ends up getting a unanimous decision win 30-26, 30-27, 30-27 across the board.
I mean, it was a good fight, but at the same time, though, like with the lead-in into how this fight was created and the short amount it was made in, and kind of like, in my opinion, I felt like Brian Ortega wasn't, I'm going to say checked out, but has been talking about 155, and it's a good win, but that's not the best Brian Ortega. You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So it's impressive in that fact. I mean, it's still impressive because of who it is and what that kind of danger that guy can pose in there at any time. But at the same time, it's like right now, this Brian Ortega wasn't the best possible version of Brian Ortega in there. Don't want to discredit the win, but it's like there's still some stuff to prove. You know? He's a good guy. I mean, he's fun. He throws down. He has power, and he has a good jiu-jitsu game. Like I said, it's crazy how careers can go, man. Man, I saw someone post, it was like, dude, Mozart must be fuming right now.
Yeah, dude. Well, you know what?
Mozart's going to have to go out there and kill Aljamain Sterling.
Mozart needs to go out there and get a fucking finish is what he needs to do, man. And he's got a lot to deal with right now in the form of the funk master, Aljamain Sterling. But look, man, for Diego Lopez, I'm so impressed. Like you said, I don't think it was the best Brian Ortega. Now in his early 30s, dealing with, I mean, the guy... Come on, man. He hurt himself in the introductions of his last fight.
By the way, did you see the fan that fucking yelled at him after his loss?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Dude, let's talk about that.
Dude, people were like, bro, you don't break bro. You don't bring up exes. You don't do bro code, bro. That's breaking bro code.
Dude,
it's actually insane.
MMA fans just like not all of them, obviously.
Dude, some of them put themselves in danger though. It's like, dude, do you want to die?
There's some of them that like
Brian Ortega just got concussed in that fight, but if he gets a hold of you, you're done.
Well, and I was hoping that like whenever he slapped Korean Zombie's translator that one time.
Yeah,
I wish it would have done the same thing there, man. Some of these motherfuckers, man.
Well, we should say what happened. So a fan from the stands, as Brian Ortega's walking out after his loss over Diego Lopez, yells, "This is why Tracy's not with you no more. This is why Tracy ain't with you no more." And somehow Brian heard it, ran out of the lane, ran over, and came at the guy. Obviously, the guy's up on the stand safe. Security.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Doesn't super hard prevent Brian from coming at the guy, but they're kind of like, hey, let's get it going.
Yeah. For Brian's bank account, I'm happy he didn't punch the guy. At the same time, though, man, like this is my issue, and this has always been my issue with like MMA.
Like you were when Merab pulled up on that guy at CGI who was talking shit.
Yeah,
dude, that guy was terrified for his life.
Dude, he literally went, I'm sorry.
I loved it though.
On,
I loved every second of it because that was recorded and his face is on the internet forever. And you got to see how he just crumbled.
So quivering pussy, dude. If you're gonna talk, here's the thing: I don't get. There's one group of people you don't want to talk shit to. It's fighters. But if you're gonna talk shit to fighters, come be a grown man and have the spine that you had from a distance, and keep that same energy when you're face to face with them. It is what it is, dude. So like sometimes you're gonna get your fucking ass kicked in life. It is what it is. But you're definitely gonna get your ass kicked if you talk shit to MMA fighters, dude. Like
they don't play around.
They don't play around, man. And yeah, man. So shouting that shit at Brian was just ridiculous. And man, like that's what it is. It's sports fans who like treat MMA like it's not a sport where people beat the shit out of each other. Like if you yell something at like a guy who had just lost a baseball game, that's one thing I feel like. But if there's a dude who just got punched in the face for 15 minutes for your enjoyment, and you're like talking shit to him, it's like, dude, that guy just took absurd brain damage for your entertainment. Now you're talking shit to him, like,
yeah, dude. It's one thing to talk shit to LeBron on the sidelines. Another thing to talk shit to fucking, these guys after their fight.
Yeah, it's like, dude, that guy just like lost so much money and lost so many brain cells, and is like, it's so on and so forth.
Not even just
like,
that, but like this guy just lost by himself in there.
Yeah,
no, he carries this loss on his own. Dude, this isn't fucking LeBron and his starting lineup that just lost, and they could just fucking go to the locker room afterwards and be like, "Oh, guys, we fucked up here. We did this." This is a guy who was in there all by himself in his fucking underwear, and lost the fight and has to deal with that on his own. His coaches can talk to him, say what it's not gonna make a difference.
No,
he still fought and lost on his own. It sucks. It's the biggest fucking mental battle. Losing a fight as a professional athlete.
Yeah,
the professional fighter.
Yeah, man. And it's just I don't want to spend too much longer on that dumbass. But guys, like, treat fighters better, man. Like, honestly, I don't know what it is about this sport that makes people just like treat like everybody in it like shit. Like, everybody.
Dude, no one would ever say that to anybody else just out and about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, come on.
You wouldn't say that shit to someone at your job.
You wouldn't say that shit to somebody, and you wouldn't say that shit if Brian Ortega was right in front of you.
All right.
You say it because there's a layer of protection, because you're not about that life.
Dude, exactly, dude. If these two were locked up into a room, they wouldn't say that.
You're not that guy, pal. I mean, come on, dude. Brian Ortega could literally end your life. Like, that's what it comes down to. Like, they could literally end your life. Come on, man. But anyways, happy for Diego Lopez. He's in line for a big fight or a title shot next. We'll see what happens, but sucks for Brian too, obviously. Next up, Esteban Ribovic defeating Daniel Zellhuber by split decision. These guys went out there and tried to kill each other. Daniel Zellhuber, I'm a huge fan of now, man. This guy got the shit kicked out of him at various times throughout this fight and was just up against the cage, barely alive, just fucking.
That third round was one of the craziest rounds ever.
It really was. Give me your thoughts on that fight as a whole, man.
It was a banger, man. I had Zellhuber in this one. He wasn't far from winning it, and you could even argue that he did win this fight. Ribovic, though, power in his hands. I already knew this kid. Like I said, he had that loss in the UFC. That performance, I kind of was like, not too, like I was kind of like, but it was, if I remember right, it could have been his debut. I could be wrong, but I was kind of like, I don't know, not yet, maybe.
Yeah.
And then he came out and gave this. I mean, both these guys, because it's both of them, they made this fight happen in the way it did play out. Fuck me, dude. It was so fun to watch. Ribovic, obviously, out 155. High ceiling. Didn't get to see any of the grappling, though, and all that. There's another whole layer we didn't get to see there tested. Yeah. So as they move through 155, I mean, also Zellhuber's the younger of the two. I think Ribovic is 28 or 27, and Zellhuber's 25. Like, there's a lot of time there, man. And this is one fight. A lot of damage, though. Gonna have to take I hope, a fair bit of time off.
Oh yeah.
And he's a smart kid, dude. I'm sure he's doing it the right way. So I'm excited whenever he does come back. But I mean, fight of the year contender right there, man. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna get much better than that.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Just an absolute banger between those two. They got fight of the night, if I'm correct.
They did.
They did. Thank God. There's sometimes where it's like an automatic one, and I just assume it's an automatic. Oh yeah, fight of the night.
Dude, I thought the fight before this was gonna get it.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got to talk about it.
By the way, those guys didn't get a backroom bonus. That's a tragedy.
Complete fucking tragedy. Ronaldo Rodriguez, who, dude, and Ode Osborne stole kind of the fight week. Honestly, I thought their interviews, they kind of developed a rivalry. The press conference, they were talking a lot of shit.
And then the fight,
yeah, I thought these two flyweights kind of stole the show, man. Ronaldo Rodriguez defeats Ode Osborne. Unanimous decision, 29-28, 29-27, 29-27 across the board. Give me your thoughts.
Dude, I mean, that first round where Ronaldo Rodriguez comes out, gets dropped instantly, not out, luckily, then somehow managed to gets to a leg, I think, if I remember. I can't remember exactly how it all played out, but recovers. Then fucking Ode Osborne gets him into submission. I can't even remember if that was the first round still or not. I mean, it was a fucking movie in there, dude. It was insane. Obviously, like, I mentioned for Ronaldo Rodriguez, like, he must have had the best time of his life. Obviously, like, he didn't want it to go the way it did. I think obviously he would have loved to go out there, get the first round finish, but he walked through hell for that fucking victory. And dude, Ode Osborne, oh my fucking god, dude! At the end of the third round, dude, he threw it away.
Yeah,
he threw it away. He pulled a Steve Erceg. He was
that close.
I was that close when I saw the fight. When I saw that happen, dude, where he went for the takedown. and then Ronaldo Rodriguez ends up on top. I can't remember, or however the whole thing plays out. I was like, yep, he gave the fight right there. He had a chance to win it. That's the end of it.
Himself, yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man. Still though, I feel for Ode. Came in as like a relatively big underdog.
He's like 12-8 now as his world record.
I hope they keep him around though. The guy's put on a lot of fun fights.
Oh, he's a fun fighter. Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Although the UFC, fun fighters a flyweight. There's not too many of them, but whenever they have them, they're like, get the fuck out of here. You know?
Right.
Like Tyson Nam, shout out him. But anyways, man. As far as the undercard goes, we're just gonna move one down because we got to talk about Irene Aldana losing to Norma Dumont. Not a huge surprise. All this fight was pretty close.
After putting a fight of the year though last year.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit though. Looks like she went through like. Instead of fighting Norma Dumont, she looked like she fought fucking Jason Voorhees, dude. Just a huge cut, man. And she looked post-fight just so fucked up.
I saw the aftermath just today, this morning on Twitter, kind of how she's looking.
Brutal.
Dude, another fight where she got like fucking lit up on the face, you know?
Look, dude.
At least she won the last one, but this one, man.
She said she was willing to go out there and die on Mexican Independence Day.
She was, dude.
She really was.
I think if there was more rounds, she still would have kept going.
Oh, I'm sure she was, dude. She was a straight-up dog. And not to take the credit away, because I feel like sometimes this happens. Credit to Norma Dumont for beating the shit out of Irene Aldana. But yeah, dude, Irene Aldana was a dog on Saturday, man.
Yeah, she couldn't cut off the cage that night. It was kind of, I was kind of like, dude, she needs to cut off the cage. Like, I felt like she could have, like, I feel like that fight is winnable for her, but she didn't do the things to make it a winnable fight for her. But credit Norma Dumont, though, dude, she, like, her rise has been kind of crazy. Like, it's been a steady ride.
Yeah. And she tuned her up, man. I mean, like you said, she ranked number 5 now.
I mean, this is her best performance, I think.
Not even close. Dude, she came in, it's so easy to forget. Came into UFC 4-0 at 145, got murdered by Megan Anderson, and then fought a couple fights, picked up a few wins here and there, and lost, beat Aspen Latz and her packing. She lost to
Felicia Spencer in there. I mean, she has some good wins under her belt.
But after she lost to Meisha Saison, she missed weight at featherweight. And then she decides to drop down. Well, first of all, she beat Danielle Wolf, Lamau. And then she dropped down after that one, beat Carol Hossa, beat Chelsea Chandler, beat the shit out of her, dominated Jermaine Durandamy. And then this fight, man, like she's putting it together. 5 fights in a row. Are they the most like entertaining fights, all of them? No, but this one I thought was pretty entertaining, man. She may be in line for a title shot. Mm-hmm. After, Kayla Harrison. The winner of Kayla Harrison versus, who is she fighting? I literally can't. Kayla Vieira, I believe, in Salt Lake City. So after that, maybe Norma Dumont can be figured in some way. But the point being, she's having a good run right now. Love to see it. On the undercard, Ignacio Bahamondes getting the only knockout win over Manuel Torres.
He killed Manuel Torres twice in that fight.
He really did. Ignacio Bahamondes is a dog. Straight up dog, man.
I can't believe it was plus money, dude. I'm like, people don't know.
Insane to me. But yeah, man, the only knockout win of the card. However, Caitlin Souza, one fight before that, put Yasmin Yergui to sleep with a huge upset. Love to see that one, man. Good for Caitlin Souza.
Dude, that ending sequence was insanely high level.
Yeah. Dude, she got on the back so quick. Yeah, man.
Threw in that choke. I feel for Yasmin Yergui, dude, because like she has faced some girls who can fucking crack.
Yeah.
Like her 2 losses are chicks who can fucking crack. And there's not too many girls in the UFC who could lay down a girl like that.
Yeah, man. And, Yasmin still, I believe that the sky is the limit for her still.
Well, she's like, what, 23?
Yeah, she's 23. She's so young.
23, 24 something.
Yeah,
like
she's so young. But still, the night was for Caitlin Souza, man. That was impressive as fuck. Put her to sleep, too.
Dude, another crazy fight here.
Shout out Joshua Van.
And Edgar,
short notice.
Edgar Chairez, dude. Putting
on a banger, dude. Yeah, an absolute banger for 15 minutes. The flyweights kind of low-key stole the show, man. Between this and Rodriguez and Osborne, it was a good night for the 120.
Hey, I'm saying it's almost like the division's pretty fucking good, right?
It's almost like it's like the second or third best division in the UFC, and nobody talks about it.
Right.
So shout out both those guys. Joshua Van, like I said, short.
By the way,
notice,
since you're saying that, what do you think is the first?
Huh?
What do you think is the best division in?
For my money, it's flyweight.
Still.
Yeah, for my money, it's just because,
yeah. I mean, yeah.
You're just thinking about it. Yeah. For me, it's lightweight.
Bantamweight
is close, but I actually say featherweight.
Really?
Yeah, I say featherweight.
I gotta disagree on that one.
That's fine. For me, it's featherweight or bantamweight, and then if flyweight's top 4, I'll put it like that.
I'll put it like this: you gotta think about it like this. Think about like all the good, think about like the best fights that have happened in recent time at featherweight versus the best fights that have happened recently at bantamweight. You know what I mean?
You know what?
I feel like it's
You know what?
significantly more at
You know what?
bantamweight.
You're right. I actually agree with you because I think the top 5 for featherweight is probably better overall than the top 5 for bantamweight. But if you're comparing the top 15, it's not exactly close.
Not even just that, but like think about the fights themselves, dude.
Yeah, I'll agree with you.
Dude,
so how about this?
Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen, Piotr Jan, Sean O'Malley, Piotr Jan, Sean O'Malley, and Cheeto Vera. Like just that performance in of itself. Like
I agree with you.
I'm telling you, dude.
I agree with you. All right. Well, I'll change it up. How about this? We got lightweight, bantamweight, flyweight, featherweight. Is that fair?
Yeah.
You get down with
Dude,
that?
I gotta say, middleweight's sneaking up there these days, though.
Kinda.
It snuck up.
There's no
dude.
division where Sean Strickland is the champion and it's the top 4, though. I'm just gonna.
Come on, no, but dude, come on, though. But dude, granted though, think about the moment though. Think about that fight with Izzy.
I'm fucking around. But that I've just
Think about how much 185 has improved, dude.
But this is the thing though. Once you go past the top 5, shit gets real bad. Real quick.
But it's grown a lot though. You gotta think about it. Think about Fluffy Hernandez. You gotta think
I
about
agree with you.
Cabarrero.
No, there's definitely guys.
Michelle Pejea.
There's definitely guys. I won't dispute that.
Dude, Shara Bullet. Like there's some bangers up there.
No, I won't dispute that whatsoever. I just think, like, dude, I don't know. I just think it falls off.
I feel like 170 is like I think 170 as a division is better. But I think about like the fights that we've had. Like like that's what I'm saying. Like think about the best fights at 170 recently. Who's the best fights at 185? Yeah. I'm gonna go with the best fights in 185.
I hear you. That being said, the only other fight that happened on Noche UFC was Raul Rodriguez. Oh my God, Raul Rosas Jr.
So some maturity in there, man.
I know. Yeah, he looked good, man. He looked good. He didn't go too wild. But you know what? The highlight of the night. All right, everybody. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. How about it, man? Shout out. Hey, man. He's been 19 for like 5 years now. That's all.
Well, I think he's about it. Okay, I've already said this on the show. He was 17 a week before the Contender Series fight. He turned 18.
I know. He
was 19 the following year. I'm pretty sure he's going on 20. I think he turned 20 in October.
Yeah. It's soon. We Googled it last show. But
yeah, I think so, if I remember right.
Yeah, shout out him. Big win. Huge favorite, so it wasn't a surprise, but still, he looked mature in there. Took it one step at a time. Didn't rush things. He's even in the fights that he's won, he's been like, all right, I'm gonna go out there and get a finish like right now. You know what I mean? So
this is the first one he probably didn't do that.
No, I love to see it though. I love to see the growth, man. He's really winning me over.
Getting more comfortable in the feet too.
Yeah. He's really winning me over, man. Like I said, after he came into UFC talking all that shit, which dude, he's like 18. Like, I get it. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to go out and beat Aljo. I'm going to be a 2-division champion, yada, yada, yada. I beat Aljo in training, so on and so forth. And he lost his first fight. And he's like, you know what? He's taking a step back. I came in here a little bit overzealous, you know what I mean? And he apologized to Aljo, went and trained with him. Like, he's a good young kid. So, I love to see it. That being said, I don't think it's much of a question here. Noche UFC stole the night on Saturday, even with the main event and co-main event kind of being disappointing.
Across the street.
Yeah, right. Still being disappointing. I think everybody thought the presentation, the hard card as a whole was good. Across the street, Canelo Alvarez facing Edgar Berlanga. You know, we talked about some of the undercard fights. Rolly Romero picked up a win. I mean, we had Ariadne Lara handing Danny Garcia a loss.
Sending him into retirement.
Yeah. Caleb Plant getting come from behind, winning against Sherman McCumbee.
An insane fight.
Dude, and the finish sequence of Caleb Plant. The referee,
ferocious.
One of the greatest stoppages I've seen. Dude, he put him out. The referee was looking, and he stepped in right before Caleb landed the knockout hook that dropped.
I need to rewatch it.
Yeah,
I saw it, but I need to rewatch it at some point.
Yeah, but that being said, the main event was the worst fight of the night. Canelo Alvarez.
It was the worst fight of the night, but it was the least entertaining fight of the night.
Yeah.
But granted, though, it did have some entertaining moments in there, though.
No, absolutely. Canelo Alvarez defeats Edgar Berlanga by unanimous decision. I think one judge had a 120. It was like 120, 107. One game like 119.
Some people thought it was a fucking blowout. Like Canelo won all 12 rounds.
Yeah, I thought Canelo. If I like to throw a mercy round in there, I'm one of those guys. Like if you won mercy round, you know what I mean. I think it was round 5 maybe for Berlanga. But he got dropped in round 3. Just a picture perfect left hook. Canelo never got out of first gear because he didn't have to. Edgar Berlanga, I've noticed this in Canelo's more recent fights. Guys are not really looking to come to win. It looks like they're coming to survive. You know what I mean? Or at least,
I heard someone say that
after
too.
that first shot, that first big one, Charlo got dropped in round 2 against him, and after that, he's like, "Oh fuck, all right." Berlanga, similar thing.
Once again, talking about risk, right?
Yeah, right. Like, and you're this.
I will say when he did
career.
get cornered, you would see him kind of like sit down and throw punches, like he was doing that kind of like. But at that point, he's already cornered. You know, he has not many options there.
I'll give Munguia credit. I thought Munguia came forward the whole fight and tried to win. You know what I mean? But it still didn't matter because time after he got rocked in I think the 5th round, it's like, all right, he's already.
It wasn't enough anymore.
No. But still, man, good for Canelo. So next up, we got John. No, I don't know what else to say about it. I mean,
Who do you think is next?
This is the problem, right? Like it shouldn't be a question of who is next. It should be David Benavidez. It's been David Benavidez.
By the way, you know he's still interested in B-Ball.
Yeah, he said he's gonna fight B-Ball if B-Ball beats Better Beef. Which is like, well, why don't you just fight Better Beef then? Better Beef. But like, come on, it's like, you know,
he'll fight the winner if it's B-Ball.
yeah. It's like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna fight him. I'll fight the winner only if it's Dimitri.
But by the way, though, if Better Beef beats B-Ball, though, could you fucking blame him though? I wouldn't want.
Oh my god, dude! If
I would duck that fight so hard,
I'd be like, shit, dude. I'm actually going down to 154. Actually,
yeah, man. Like,
I'm actually dropping 2 weight classes. You know,
got the stomach bug, lost a lot of weight.
Look, realistically, who do I think is next? I don't give a shit what he says. Money talks to everybody. Money speaks to every single man.
Do you think it'll be Bud? Do you think?
I think it might be Bud Crawford.
Bud, no, Bud was at UFC. Oh, Kendrick Lamar. We didn't even talk about that.
Oh, you're right. Oh,
dude,
yeah.
By the way,
yeah,
I didn't
man.
even see that. I need to go back and rewatch the broadcast and find that because I don't even. Dude, it's like, dude, I don't even know if it was real or not. I was like, is this real or not? I need to go back.
It was real. Yeah.
Oh my
fuck!
It was a
real
real thing. How did
thing.
they fuck up like that,
dude? Well, you know what Kendrick did say. You know, what is it? He's Terrence Thornton. I'm Terrence Crawford. I'm whooping feet. You know, like he said that.
You know, it would have been so funny if Kendrick was at Canelo and Bud was at fucking.
Dude, the fact that afterwards somebody asked Dana White, like, did you see that? Like, how'd you guys mess that up? He's like, well, I mean, he did look like Kendrick Lamar. I'm like, Dana, what do you mean, dude?
Dana,
like,
what?
Dana, like, bro, have you ever like? Come on, Dana. I don't want to make too many accusations here, but it's kind of a racist comment, Dana. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, do you think all black people look alike? Seems that way. Just saying. Jokes aside.
Regardless.
Jokes aside. I think it could be Bud next for Canelo. For me, it comes down to this. What does Canelo want to do? And it seems like he's at that point in his career where he wants to make fucking money, which is why he talked about fighting Conor McGregor.
He's on that Moicano shit.
Yeah, he's money Moicano. You know, look, he's in that stage. He's out there, you know, talking about Bitcoin and shit. You know, he's going full Moicano, not fucking around. But I think he's either gonna fight Bud or he's gonna fight. I mean, Caleb Plant rematch. Do you care? I don't really care, but I can see it happening.
I don't think that'll happen.
No,
I think they'll make a Caleb versus Berlanga. It makes too much sense.
It does make too much sense, but look, dude. I mean, that's the problem. Oh, I mean, well, shit. He almost nearly fought him beforehand, Chris Eubank in the UK.
I mean, they might do that. You're not even wrong.
Which, like, I don't give a fuck about any of those fights, and that's the unfortunate part. Except for Crawford. Like, Crawford, I think is interesting because it's like
because of what could happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the greatest fighters of all time, two of the greatest fighters of all time, and one dude who's daring to be great, jumping up now 2 weight classes, was 3 weight classes. It's like to try and become an undisputed champion in another weight class. I love that. I love that shit. I love men that dare to be great.
It's the guy. It's like one of the best guys versus the face of boxing.
And I took Canelo at his word whenever he said that he's like, you know what? I don't really care about the money. I don't care about what Turkey LLC thinks. You know, I don't really care. I don't want to fight, you know, Crawford. He's too small. And then it's another thing to say that, and then you're like during fight week, he's like, yeah, I'll fight Conor McGregor. I'll show him that, you know, boxing's better than MMA. It's like, okay, those 2 statements are very contradictory. You know what I mean? Like, you're clearly about money at this point in your career. He's probably just trying to angle for a higher payday. You know what I mean? So, I think Canelo against Crawford maybe next, or Canelo against Eubank, or Canelo against Bivol. It's not going to be David Benavidez, even no matter how much I want it to be. Because even Canelo, like, he showed 0 interest. And I really thought he would change his tune over time. I really did. You know what I mean? But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Which sucks. Like, that really sucks because that's such a good fight. And like I said, whenever we talked about it last time, I think Canelo might be able to beat him. Like, honestly, I truly think it's like a 60-40 type fight. Like, it's that close. But he won't fight him. So there we go. That's all I got to say about Canelo. Anything else we talk about for at least for that recap before we move on?
I don't think so. I think we covered it pretty well.
Yeah, same here. Announced during, I believe it's actually during the Noche UFC broadcast, John Jones versus Stipe Miocic is officially official. after talk of rumors for months, essentially both guys knew and said that it was happening in November, but it's finally official by the UFC. November, Madison Square Garden, MSG, John Jones, final fight, ladies.
Potential double retirement fight.
More than likely double retirement. I mean, John Jones said in an interview right afterwards that, yeah, it's going to be the final time. Tom Aspinall is the backup fighter. So, I'm sure if
Stipe falls on wires.
Yeah, I'm sure if Stipe gets hurt in a house fire, that John will totally
rescuing a cat
Aspinall.
from a tree.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that John will totally fight him.
Dude, wouldn't it be the craziest shit if Stipe fell out and Tom Aspinall gets to fight John Jones at MSG?
Look, I could be wrong. We talked about this a little bit in the green room. I think that there is a better chance. Dude, like, there's no fucking way it happens. You have a better chance of hooking up with Sidney Sweeney than John Jones of fighting Tom Aspinall.
So you think
I think under no circumstances he will
do you
fight
think if Stipe somehow fell out?
Yes, I don't think he'll fight him. I think John Jones rejected a fight with Chael Sonnen on short notice.
You think, let's say it's the weigh-in day. We get, let's say Stipe can't weigh in. And they say, okay, John, Tom has to fight you now.
He would say, pay me $50 million and I'll do it. And then they would say no. And then he would say, well, guys, I tried. I'm not fighting. Stipe pulled out of the fight. And then he would just pretend that Tom doesn't exist. Like how he's currently doing.
God, could you imagine if
I don't know what it is. It's a personal thing.
The amount of shit he would get if he did that.
I don't think he cares. This is the same man that's kept his. It's one of those things like.
Who's the same guy that'll hit a pregnant lady in his car and then run back for his drugs and then leave again?
This is the same man that was arrested for domestic violence, beating the shit out of his fiance in front of their children.
Do you know who the fuck he is, though, Josh? Do you know who the fuck he is?
Who is he?
He's fucking John Jones.
He's the GOAT. That's right. Oh my god! Did you hear pound for pound number one, John Jones, Dana White? No, fucking.
Dude, the edits.
He like this is not the reason why I brought that up. Like, he was arrested for beating the shit out of his fiance in front of their children less than 2 years ago. And you know what came from that? Fucking nothing. John Jones probably feels untouchable at this point in his life, and I don't even blame him. He has a longer rap sheet than most guys in the UFC that have gotten cut for less, okay? And yet, he's here for his retirement fight getting... Dude, Dana White is outright saying, like, this younger champion... Could you imagine, like, 10 years ago, Dana White doing this? This younger champion... who is on the rise, has won every single fight by finish, and is the interim champion. And Dana White saying, no, he doesn't deserve to fight John Jones. John Jones, who's admitting he's going to retire at the age of 40 now, damn near 40. Dana's still siding with John Jones. Of no shit, he feels untouchable. He feels like he could probably retire even before fighting Stipe after just fucking around for a year and a half. He probably could and have zero repercussions. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he cares about the backlash because there's been no backlash to other legitimately bad things that he's done. To where it's like, oh shit, he just doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall? No, he's still a GOAT, man. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. I think there's no fucking way that he'll fight Tom Aspinall. And I could be wrong. This could age like milk. And I think he, like, it's a similar thing, the Canelo thing, right? I think John Jones could beat Tom Aspinall. I really think he could. But at the same time, he just won't fight him.
Dude, we need Tom to go in there like Roy Jones, dude, and Toya Tarver, bro. He needs to make himself like a target.
Yeah. Yeah,
like somehow he has to be like he needs to get on John's radar in the sense of like now he's a target. So he might have to do some. Dude, Tom might have to start talking about his family, bro. We might have to get you know what I mean, to get that fight.
Yeah, he's gonna pull the old Dan Hooker. I remember a few years back, Dan Hooker and John Jones were getting into it.
He might have to pull a fucking what's his name, Jeremy Stevens, dude, and talk about his mom or something, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's gonna pull the old Dan Hooker. Like, John, it's the funniest bar of all time. They were arguing on Twitter on Christmas, and I remember Dan Hooker was like, John, Christmas is generally better whenever you don't beat your wife around your kids or something. Just something like Jesus. It was like, damn, man, shit. Tom, where you at, man? Gotta borrow a few lines from the Hangman. I think that Tom's doing that already for the first like 8 months, something like that, right? He was kind of being like, I'm not going to talk shit to John Jones. I'm going to be respectful. But in the last 2 or 3 weeks, he's been like, you know what? Fuck that motherfucker. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to get under his skin. Even doing the same thing with Stipe. He's like, Stipe, he's like Joe Biden out there. We got to get him out, man. Like, that's literally what he said. I remember that. Yeah, he's like, come on, man. Yeah, I mean, I think as the fight goes itself, I think Stipe, if he's a fraction of what he used to be, he very well might beat John Jones. Like, he's still like one of the greatest heavyweights of all time, but at 42 years old, with a lifetime of fighting, a full-time firefighter, I don't think it's going to happen. So I think more than likely John Jones beats Stephen Miocic in November, and with Tom Aspinall waiting right there to have a face-off,
By the way,
he's going to retire.
Did you love how they were on the broadcast and they go to Joe, it's Joe, DC, and Anik there, and they were announcing the fight, and then Anik's like, DC, you actually fought both of these guys. They did them like my boy during the Bud's last fight,
Sean Porter,
like Sean Porter, brother. Like, DC, you've actually faced both these guys. What do you have to say?
Hey man, he beat Stipe though.
He
beat him,
dude. But then like the 2 losses afterwards were so rough though.
Hey man, he was up 3 rounds in that second fight. God damn it.
The body, dude. Once Stipe knew he had to go to DC's body, it was over.
You ever think about how depressing it is that DC's fight?
You know what's crazy though? That's a long-standing thing because I saw him fight I think it was a finale for
Josh Barnett
for Strikeforce. So he fought Josh Barnett. I think it was that fight. Barnett, I don't know if it's a body kick or a punch. And again, dude, DC has like the biggest reaction in the world. And I'm kind of like, dude, this goes back to way back when, and I'm surprised like no one capitalized on this way sooner.
Well, and the fact that
I don't even think John Jones really did many body attacks in the fight against DC.
He did in the rematch, but not in the first.
Oh, fight. You know what other fight I saw in? Anderson Silva. I think that's the fight I think.
Oh
about.
yeah, with a body kick in the last minute.
Yeah,
dude. Which, by the way, like one of the most underrated, crazy moments of all time.
Dude, yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, dude, this is insane.
Like Anderson, fuck. So that would have been 2016. I want to say he would have been 42 or 41 at that time.
Didn't even look bad.
A middleweight, and came in on 2-3 days notice, and against the light heavyweight champion, and nearly beat him. Goat shit.
Could you imagine?
Goat shit.
Could you imagine if he would have done it somehow?
Well, I remember they were like, Anderson was like, yeah, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to beat DC, and then I want to rematch with Michael Bisping for the title. And it's like, yeah, dude, like we're that close, bro. We're that close. But
dude, at that age too.
And you know what the craziest part is? He had gotten gallbladder surgery like the month before. That's the part everybody forgets. He was supposed to fight at 199, I think, against Uriah Hall.
I wonder what would happen if he would have been healthy.
I know it's a big what if, man. That being said,
I mean, I guess he was healthy, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, no, I got you. Full notice. Yeah.
By the way, since we're talking about a little bit of everything right now, we're kind of off topic. You don't have it on the list, but I want to sneak it in.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw. There's a new JRE. He had what is it? Is it Berlanga? I can't remember.
Berlanga, Matt Serra,
and Dean Thomas.
Yeah.
At one point they're talking, and I wanted to bring this up on the show just because, dude, they were talking about I can't even know. I don't even remember how they ended up to start. They're talking about Bilal because they recorded the week after the week after Brady Burns. Okay. So Bilal and all that had already happened, and it was before this pay-per-view that most recently happened, and they were talking about who's next for Bilal, who's to fight. Dude, do you know who these motherfuckers? They said Kamaru Usman should get the title shot next. I was like, fuck no, dude. You know, they said Kamaru. Dude, I'm like, dude, Kamaru hasn't won a fight since like 2021.
You know. Kamaru Usman's one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Kamaru Usman. So, there's not many. I don't even know if you know this.
No.
There's not even that many people on his fight record who are still on the roster.
Yeah.
I think Colby and RDA are like the only ones left. Hey, Gilbert. But dude, also put into account though. Look how Gilbert. Like, look at the stage of Gilbert's career right now. Like where he's at. Colby hasn't fought and got. I don't even know if Colby might actually be retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Colby's too busy trying to run for fucking.
Colby's basically not in the UFC. Yeah. RDA is like it. I don't know how RDA has not. He's still competitive, but he's like damn like on the edge of retirement. Before that, dude, Damian Maia.
I mean, look, dude.
They said Kamaru Usman, bro. Like I love these guys. I respect the fuck out of them. They're some of the most intelligent minds in the game. They got great analysis. They had really good breakdowns. A lot of the fights, a lot of good takes. But dude, them saying
delusional.
Them saying Kamaru Usman should fight Bilal Muhammad was like, I'm like, dude, what?
Dude, it's you know what the craziest part is?
Kamaru should fight in general. He should fight anybody at 170.
It might
be
happen.
entertaining.
You know, the craziest part is it might happen. It might fucking happen.
That is mental illness when you have Shavkat Rakhmonov in your division.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. I think that's a horrific.
They could do Ian Gary, Kamaru Usman. That'd be a great fight.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's unlimited good fights for Kamaru at 1.
Granted, though, Ian Gary Leon is great. Leon MVP is another fight I'm interested, but MVP's might be already booked, right?
The rumor was is Carlos Prates.
Well, that's what they're working on,
Yeah,
right?
that's the rumor, but I don't know if that's confirmed. I think that's what Carlos Prates said.
Regardless,
But
though.
point being, man, yeah, that's a terrible take. I mean, like, I know Kamaru's calling and angling hard for that fight, but like, dude, you just need to go out there and beat anybody, and you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he wins one fight, you're chilling.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be a high ranked guy.
Beat anybody like somewhat relevant, and you probably get it.
I think I want to see Kamaru against MVP. Book that, and
Oh, you know how that fight goes. Come on.
That's exactly what I'm saying. If they want to give it like Kamaru a shot back to the title, that's the easiest fight you can make and have it be relevant and entertaining. But whatever. Yeah, that's a terrible take, dude. I hate that, and I think it'd be ridiculous if anybody but Shavkat got a title shot. Well, actually, that's not true. I think if they would have given it to JDM or some shit, I wouldn't be mad. But like Kamaru Usman, bro, like
Kamaru Usman hasn't won a fight since 2021.
I understand that.
Like, don't hate. Like, it's just the circumstances right now.
Here's the thing: you're forgetting this Angel.
2022 or 2020.
He's actually better than GSP because he beat Masvidal and Colby a combined 4 times.
Right, dude.
Have you forgotten about that?
Right.
You forgot about his title reign consisting of
dude.
Masvidal,
I can't believe
Colby,
I can't believe he had those two.
Burns.
Okay, Colby, sure, whatever. Right, the first one was a banger, right? But he didn't have to rematch Jorge. Granted, I get it. Jorge did him a favor, but it's like, dude,
he also didn't have to rematch Colby.
Not necessarily, no.
Colby, I believe. How did he get that fight again? He beat like a wash to the heavens Woodley, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there you go, man. And then he somehow got another title shot after beating a wash to the
dude,
heavens.
when I remember Kamaru's career, I honestly think he only had 3 title defenses.
Yeah. Instead of, what was it, 5?
Yeah, like I hate to be that guy, but guys, like put it into perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I love Kamaru, but I think the way that it's kind of like the weirdest way that like they've ever rated a guy's legacy. They're like, yeah, he's the welterweight goat after 3 fights. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird. You know what I mean? And they still kind of carry that now, and like it's the perception.
Kamaru's great. Don't get it twisted.
No. Like this is not a shot at Kamaru, but it's all about perception. I remember whenever Leon was the champion, they're like, man. If Kamaru was fight, we would have already had 3 title defenses by now. But it's like you can look up the dates. Like they fought roughly the same amount of days.
I mean, don't get it wrong. There was also COVID and all that and all this stuff. And he was what? Was he the first pay-per-view at Fight Island?
Yes,
that was the other thing too. Yeah,
Masvidal, yeah.
Credit to Masvidal, dude. What was it, like days, like a week's notice?
Yeah, 8 days
to fly out to Abu Dhabi, cut all that weight, and then fight in a championship fight, and then
he won round 1
and got held, and then got held against the cage. You know, like. To be honest, not that bad. Granted, though, what suited like a few years.
Oh yeah, I mean, just a year later,
one of the greatest knockouts I've ever seen.
Yeah, one of the greatest of all time. It was such a great night too. But I think we should go ahead and move on because that's Kamaru Bilal might happen in December. What we know is November is the site. November MSG, the card we just mentioned, UC 309 is the site of the return of Iron Michael Chandler. Oh, he last fought also an MSG in 2022 against Dustin Poirier, November of 2022. 2 years later.
2 years ago.
2 years later, he's back against Charles Dubronx Oliveira in a 5-round co-main event. The winner presumably gets a title shot here. What do you make of this fight?
That is crazy. The guy. I mean, I get it for Oliveira, but Chandler.
No, it doesn't make sense for Chandler. But
no,
at the same time, it's all about what you've done. And the fact is, he got fucked by the UFC for 2 straight years. So that's just
granted though. Like, do you think they were telling him, "Hey, just hold off," or do you think it was him also being like, "I'm gonna wait"?
They gave
because I would say the UFC fucked up because he really could have been like, "I'll wait it out," but it could also be on the other end where it's like the UFC's like, "Stick it out with us," yada yada. We'll take care of you. This and that.
Well, the fact that Dana said multiple times that like,
I hope he gets.
He's gonna take care of Michael Chandler because of this.
I hope he's getting fucking paid.
Yeah. I think it's a little bit of both, but I also think the fact that Dana's been like, yeah, we know what's up. We're going to take care of Michael Chandler because of what's going on. That makes me think.
By the way, I think if he wins this fight against Oliveira, he needs to call out Conor again.
He said actually that he's actually, if he beats Oliveira, he's like, nah, I'm calling out Makachev. I'm done with Conor.
Yeah, you could try to do that, dude.
I really think he will get it if he beats Oliveira, dude. I really think he will. Not that he necessarily deserves it.
It's insane.
Not that he deserves it.
I feel like he'd be better off chasing a fucking Conor fight.
Actually, you know what? Think about this, though. Saryuki and Makachev's going to happen January, February, somewhere there. Who else? Let's say Chandler, Oliveira. He knocks out Oliveira. Who would deserve a title shot more? because he's not moving with the 170 anymore. That's done. Now the
Between Oliveira and Chandler?
Yeah, so let's say Chandler goes out there, and let's say he just makes a statement. He knocks him out in the first round. More than likely, that's the only way he'll win. So he goes out there and does that. Who does he fight then? Who does Makhachev fight? And let's say he gets through Saryukian.
I guess you make a good point there.
It's like the rankings go Saryukian, Oliveira, Gaethje, knockout loss. Poirier, just lost. Hooker, I mean, I guess you could do Hooker, but Chandler's already beat him.
I think, like, to be honest, I help this division out. You're kind of banking on a fucking Saryukin win.
You are banking on a Saryukian
because then that way every
matchup. I don't want to spoil my prediction.
But the thing is, because then every matchup is fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
And like very interesting.
And Makhachev could do whatever he wants. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't think he moved to welterweight until.
Well, the thing is, this division needs a little bit of movement. But granted, I get it though, because was it fucking, Gaethje's coming off the knockout loss of fucking Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Poirier.
One more.
Lost the title. And he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Dan's just returning to form. Chandler's like on his last year or two. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's gonna retire probably within the next 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. So
Gammy coming off the loss. I mean, yeah, 155 is at a tough spot right now. Like, there's no guys with like a pretty decent streak, which is kind of heartbreaking. You're not wrong.
There's a few things that could change this, though, and we should mention those real quickly. There's a few things that could change it. Max Holloway goes out there and beats Ilia Topuria.
Comes back to 155.
He's getting a title shot. If Saryukian beats Makhachev, things change, and if Shavkat beats Bilal, things can change. So you need still a lot to go right for Chandler, but I would predict. I think Ilya's probably going to beat Max. I think Saryukian is probably going to lose to Makhachev, and I don't know when Shavkat versus Bilal will happen, if it does happen next. So there's so many questions, but the current landscape. Yeah, dude, I think if Chandler goes out there and beats Oliveira, he's going to get a title shot.
I mean, yeah, I guess when we're looking at it like that, yeah, you're not wrong. Oliveira, though, man. I mean,
the Oliveira era, baby.
Dude, back. He's still looking good, dude. Even in the Saryukin fight, man, like, wasn't looking bad,
dude, if you're Charles Oliveira, how fucking happy are you, dude? You went from losing to Saryukin, you're kind of like, fuck, dude, I'm kind of locked out for the moment. To
like now be in this position, MSG, big card, co-main event.
It's like it is. Even though he's already lost to Makhachev, by the time they would rematch, they fought in 2022. That'd be 3 years later.
Oh God,
you could sell that.
I love Oliveira. Oliveira's my 155 gun. I don't give a fuck, dude.
I don't give a fuck. He's so fun, and that run was generational.
That's what I'm saying.
We're not going to see anything like that for a long time. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying.
No beef with it.
I appreciate it a lot in the moment, dude.
Same, man. It's just one of the
right now our run is Poeton, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Right now our run's Poeton, so we can't be that upset.
I'm going to ask you real quickly, though. The first fight was a banger, May of 2021, if people remember that. Michael Chandler nearly finished Charlie Olives. Charlie Olives come back, finish him in the second round. Early thoughts, man. I actually saw Oliveira, like, some lines had Chandler open up as a small favorite.
It's shifted,
but it's
now.
Already shifted to Oliveira being a big
Which,
favorite.
And it makes sense. And also, you can think about it, dude. Chandler hasn't fought in 2 years. He's older, at 155.
Yeah.
The guy could crack as a good wrestler, super powerful, explosive as fuck. Great athlete, comes in supreme form. But, dude, Oliveira is easily the second best lightweight of all time.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Like, let's say it as it is. Like, at the moment, still.
Yeah.
Obviously, Makhachev's doing his run right now. He's about to get himself in that position to either be 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
However things end up playing out, who knows, right? But, like, as it is now, I still say it. Oliveira is easily the second best lightweight of all time.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And, he could be 1 for you. If he wanted to be 1 just because he didn't stick around and defend the title, as long as he could have, so be it. And also, he fought a lot more names.
Yeah.
Than Habib on the run,
On the way up, yeah. So, I get it either way. But look, man, I fucking love Chandler versus Oliveira. I think Connor's probably done. I mean, I think with this.
Oh yeah, dude, we're seeing him having fun and all that. I mean, I just kind of wish if he was done, he'd just say like, I'm done.
I think at this point we're at the point where it's okay. Will he come back and fight? Who's gonna come back and fight? Dude, Nate Diaz, and that's it. I think give me the Nate trilogy next summer, and then both guys can ride off into the sunset.
And then make fuck you money.
Insane fuck you money. Even if do it the Sphere, man. Dana, I don't give a shit what you say. I'm not delusional.
By the way, how do you feel? I heard someone say this. How do you feel? Do you think the UFC might have also made like in this whole like Conor Wade and all that? Do you think the UFC is also kind of like held off on Conor too? I mean, we kind of came to the conclusion on that when we watched the documentary whenever it came out like a few years ago.
Oh, it's
during because QB's from what it looked like in that 2020, after he beat Cowboy Cerrone,
Correct. Yeah.
it seemed like he was ready to come back and fight on a regular
I
basis.
think it's both. I think there's no doubt in my fucking mind that the UFC slow rolled him. For me, there's no doubt.
And I'm obviously him himself, right?
But
too.
that's the other case.
It's a bit of
both. Finally
both.
got a date in June and he fucked it up. Like he finally got a date and he fucked it up. Like they really did slow roll him. People forget he called the fight at 300. He called the fight multiple times for 2023. He had the drama with USADA. You know what I mean? Like the UFC was trying to book him.
We know very well he only has 2 fights left on his contract.
Exactly. And he wanted to fight at 300 really, really bad. And then they said no. And they pushed him to June. And then he was like, he got injured. He broke, what was it, 2 toes or whatever?
Something.
And he pulled out. And then he was like, all right, I want December. And they're like, no, fuck you, man. Like, you're going to have to sit for longer. He pulled out against Chandler. So now we're going to do Chandler somebody else. So there we go. But he also talked about wanting to fight at the Sphere. Like, he said a lot of stuff. And I think it's probably a little bit column A, a little bit column B. I think they don't want him to fight. And I think he doesn't really care to rush himself back. So there we go. That's my opinion, though. We do have one quick... There is no MMA this week. We didn't say that at the start of the show. There is no MMA. There was a Bellator card last week. We didn't even preview because it was headlined by Liam McCourt. And it's just like, who gives a shit, right? But there's nothing Bellator or PFL related.
Does that card actually happen?
Yeah. No, I was being dead serious.
I completely forgot it was.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming up, but
Friday
I know it
night,
already
I
happened.
think. It was supposed to be Johnny Evelyn, Fabian Edwards, and then they fell out. So it was Liam McCourt against Sarah Collins.
I need to look back at those results. I'm just kind of curious. Didn't Liam McCourt win?
Yeah. No, she lost.
Oh, well,
She got
never mind.
upset. Yeah. That being said, we have no MMA this week. We do have one big boxing match in the form of Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, Wembley Stadium, London, England. Brought to you by.
By the way, how's the undercard
Riyadh
looking on
Season.
that?
Give me 1 second. I'll pull that up.
Tell me you weren't prepared, Josh.
To my knowledge, I mean, I know they have some guys on here, like, but I don't remember the whole card.
Let's see here. Probably a pretty weak. I mean, I doubt they have much, if anything, right on the
They have no
undercard.
wiki. That's interesting.
Let's see here.
All right, here we go. Thank you, DAZN, who posted this. So they're gonna fight Saturday night. I guess Saturday in the day for us here.
Yo, Josh Warrington on the undercard, huh?
Yeah, we got Josh Warrington, Anthony Cassise. I apologize. Joshua Blatzy, Willie Hutchinson, Mark Chamberlain, who's gonna kill Josh
Kelly.
Padley, and Josh Kelly opening up the card. So a lot of UK talent, a lot of UK,
Yeah.
prospects. Lighter weight classes, pretty standard for a Joshua card. I would say it's not anything too crazy. This is not, what was it last year, Day of Reckoning or whatever
yeah.
with Joshua, where it was just insanely stacked. It's
Dude,
not that.
those like 2 heavyweight cards, they were just wild as
Oh
fuck.
my god, dude. Hey,
That
man,
was a good time.
No
man. I don't
matter-
give a fuck what no one said. That was a good time.
I don't give a shit what anybody said, dude. Turkey Allah sheep, bro. We're still trying to get you on the couch, brother. We're gonna have you in the interview. We're gonna have you in the studio, dude. Come on, because those cards were insane. And
The better question is my boy Vidal Riley fighting again.
I have no idea. That being said, man, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I think Anthony Joshua's going to go out there,
Flatline Daniel Dubois.
completely flatline him. I think
Do you think he's gonna summon to another dimension?
here's my thought process, right? I think Daniel Dubois is better than he gets credit for.
By the way, do you think he'll actually knock him out, or because he's a fellow countryman, he'll be
He'll-
nice?
No, I don't think he'll be nice.
It's a different AJ now.
I think AJ.
He's on a
dude,
3-win streak, all knockouts. He's about to go for the 4. He's about to
yeah,
go for
dude,
the 4.
Dude, he knows what's up here, dude. And also, no offense to Daniel Dubois, I think he's better than he gets credit for sometimes.
Dude, he's
but
really going
he-
for that Usyk trilogy, huh?
Yeah, he really is. But dude, Daniel Dubois got flatlined by Joe Joyce. Usyk stopped him relatively easily. Besides the controversial low blow, that was the only competitive round they had. I think they have one more, but you get my point here. Usyk pretty handily beat him. I think AJ is going to do the same thing. I think he's just a better boxer and a much better finisher for me, which I think that's a big deal, man.
Could you imagine a Daniel Dubois upset? I mean, Daniel Dubois has already pulled an upset. So
IBF heavyweight champion coming off an upset win is a straight up dog. I wouldn't be like shocked, but I'd be surprised. You know what I mean? Like, he's still a dog, so I like the guy, but come on, man. AJ in London, in Wembley, undefeated in Wembley, beat Klitschko. Who else did he beat? A couple other guys there. I can't think of who. Carlos Taka, maybe. So, yeah, man, he's a dog, and I think AJ's going out there to finish him. And after that, who knows? Usyk or Fury? I mean, they're fighting in December, the rematch. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens next.
I completely
for AJ if he
forgot
gets
that
in.
fight's happening again.
I know, and both guys doing some shit too, by the way.
By the way, what happened? He got stopped in Poland.
Usyk, yeah, he got arrested in Poland. Or not arrested, detained.
Do
and
we
then
know
was
why?
released. No,
Is
we
there
don't know.
Not
They said
yet.
it was just a mix-up, and he got released pretty quickly. But I don't know. I hope that's the case. But with everything going on in Ukraine and Europe right now, like fuck that. You know what I mean? Like
And what is Fury dealing with? What does he got going on?
Nothing. But we
Josh
haven't
is like
we
he's
haven't
tight.
heard we haven't heard anything since we saw him getting
But he's been quiet,
plastered.
right?
Huh?
He's been quiet, right?
very quiet. The only last thing we saw was him getting plastered a month ago. Remember, or earlier this year after he lost, with him drunk face planting. Remember that?
Yeah.
Nobody talked about that, and like we haven't heard anything since.
You're right. Literally falling out outside of a bar.
Yeah, like literally eating shit on the sidewalk. So I don't know.
That's a different level of drunk because you got to think about how big of a guy he is.
Yeah, dude. He's on that Andre the Giant top shit. He had like 30 beers, dude. Like, come on.
30 berries? Really?
Yeah.
That's it? Come on, dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know. 30 beers should get him, man. Well, probably not.
That man probably downed a bottle and a half of liquor.
No, man. He had 12 bottles of 99 bananas.
Yeah, like he had 6 pints.
Yeah. Love to see it. Yeah, man. I hope Fury's doing well, bro. we got 6 more months. Wait, not 6 more months. 3 more, over 3 months until the next.
I was about to
fight.
say, bro, come on.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it's been 6 months since their first fight, is what I'm about to say. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, man. This is the last news of the day. It's gonna be a quick one. PFL is still building out the undercard for Francis Ngannou, Big Fran against René Ferreira, October, I believe,
Franny.
17th. Big Franny, October 17th. Riyadh season, actually out there in Saudi Arabia right now. It's actually always Riyadh season, from my understanding, out there. So
It doesn't matter what the time of the year is. It's said during Ramadan. It's probably the only time it's not a
Hey,
Riyadh season.
You know what, Angel? It says it's 11:28. You know what time it is? It's Riyadh season time, brother. Okay. We got that card. Ngannou Ferreira in the main event. We already knew Chris Cyborg, Larissa Pacheco in the co-main event, which, by the way, main event, co-main event, insanely good. They've made 2 other fights official this week. AJ McKee, Paul Hughes was rumored for the card, but now official, going down to lightweight. And then also Johnny Eblin, Fabian Edwards, too. We just mentioned it a minute ago, officially going down on the pay-per-view card as well.
W move.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that a lot, man.
I mean, it's a solid pay-per-view. It's pretty much, I'd say it's, worth your money.
They're stacking this thing hard because really for the PFL, this is their last, I don't want to say it's the last big shot, but if you can't get people to bite on this one, I don't know what you're going to be able to get people with. I mean, Cyborg, Pacheco, and Ngannou Ferreira.
Let's be honest, it's not going to sell insane.
It's not, if they do like 150, that's a win.
Yeah, I mean,
Anything over 130, I'd say is a win.
100K plus, pretty much.
100K plus. Because, and that's, I saw an interview with Don Davis. He's like, yeah, number 1, we're trying to put out a good card. Number 2, that's financials. We're not trying to.
How's
look
the
for
promotion?
financials.
I mean, it needs to be even harder, dude. Like,
They're not promoting it well at all.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like the promotion hasn't been that insane for it.
Like, we're 4 weeks out now, and
No,
we still only have 4 fights on the card.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they
So-
need to start buckling down and like saying this shit's
Yeah.
happening. They
Yeah.
gotta sell this shit.
Like, there's rumors of guys fighting on it. Like, Yo Romero, Corey Anderson's a fight has been rumored. No, Jesus Pinedo at the PFL has been rumored for this one too, and a couple other guys that are, like, they're young prospects. But yeah, they gotta work on it, man. Like, I'm full disclosure. I'll put my hand up. I'm gonna buy this card. I am. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna put my money down. Actually, I may be working for this card, but if I'm not, I'm gonna buy this card.
you're gonna support Francis Ngannou.
I'm gonna support Ngannou. I'm gonna support this card because it's a good ass fucking card. But at the
How much is
same
it gonna
time,
cost? Do we know?
I think it's gonna be 50 or 60.
So it's not gonna be regular pay-per-view price.
Cheaper than UFC by a fair margin. Yeah, it's no AJ Dubois, which is gonna be $20. Shout out Turkey Allah Sheik.
Ooh, really? It's gonna be $20
You know about that?
officially
20. Yeah, it's gonna be $20 worldwide.
on ESPN or DAZN?
DAZN,
Well, that's the only issue because you gotta have a DAZN subscription.
I believe so. But yeah,
I
still,
was gonna say they almost had me. They almost had me.
hey, still though, $20 is still good though.
Well, actually, if you go on payperview.com, can you just buy it there without going through DAZN?
I think you can. I think you can.
they might have my money now.
This is why, like, and this is why it needs to pay off, honestly, for this to work. People need to buy the card for it to stay at $20. Let me see. Let's see if DAZN. What you got for me? Incredible fight on DAZN. Does not say.
Oh, right there, DAZN pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. But you can do the free trial and then also get it and pay $20.
True, but you have to make an account.
Yeah, but that's, come on, man. It's 2024. It's not a big deal.
I know, but still.
I know. It's a little bit misleading, but yeah, $20 past the DAZN price point. basically.
It's $20, but I have to put my card there, and then I have to make sure I fucking
Cancel it in 7
Yeah,
days.
and it's a pain in the ass to get to the cancel option. You already know how it is.
Yeah.
I know these motherfuckers, dude. I know.
Exactly. Which, by the way, I'm moving, and so the guy's studio is gonna look a little bit different if you watch YouTube channel. Studio's gonna look different. I'm moving in a few weeks, and I went to cancel my my Spectrum to see how that process works. And like, yeah, you actually can only cancel by calling us at this number at this time within this location. It's like, dude, all right, you guys trying to make this as difficult as possible. So. Yeah, I'm sure DAZN will be the same thing. But point being,
By the way, are you moving your service or just? Oh wait, no, you already told me you're
I'm getting
getting
Google Fiber, bro.
Yeah.
Getting Google Fiber, man.
It'd be cheaper too, right?
Yes, it will.
Not by a lot though.
Not by a lot,
I was
but,
about to say it's not even by a lot.
but still though. Look, man. Yeah. I like the PFL card. Hopefully, do better promoting it and give me some more big fights, man. Give me some more big fights. Give me something to talk about. And I have no problem, man. I'll be out there. I'll cheer you. I'll be like, yo, bro, like this card's good. You know what I mean? So. I'm planning on buying it, but we'll see.
Too bad they couldn't pull a Riyadh season and make it $20, right?
Oh man. Well, maybe they will. Maybe Turkey will put in a phone call because this is going down in Saudi Arabia.
Worldwide. That is such a like. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like worldwide, because it's gonna be like that for everybody. Granted, there's still some countries that probably won't be able
$20 that yeah.
Probably won't be able to afford that still. But nevertheless, though, like it opens up the doors a lot for the people globally.
Exactly. And for me, it's like, man.
Dude, like you and a buddy, literally $10.
It's so easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
so.
Dude, you're gonna probably spend more money on food watching the fucking fight.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So that's why I support it, and that's why PFL, dude, $50 is still a big expense for people. Knock that down to 20.
Yeah, 40 even.
40. Yeah. I think they're probably gonna leave it at 50 or 60, but we'll see. I mean, even at that part, even at the price point, you're still $25 less than.
I feel like that's a move like the UFC and like ESPN and like a lot of these companies need to. They need to find a way where they can decrease the price. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it'll make people happy.
Here's what it comes down to: Turkey Al Sheikh and Dana White have different philosophies on how to deal with piracy, and I agree with Turkey Al Sheikh. Why do people pirate, or why do people go out and do illegal things? Because they can't access it any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, these aren't bad people who are stealing pay-per-views. They just want to watch their favorite sport and they can't.
And granted, there's other things. I'm sure they're probably working. I'm sure like companies and ESPN and all these people that have these streaming services are working on ways to actually cut down on probably like literally working on ways to completely prevent it.
Oh yeah, well, Dana said.
I think no matter what for the future of like because of the internet and how everything's becoming like there has to be some way to prevent piracy. I would say it sucks, but we don't want to spend money, all of that. Yeah. Like let's be honest, people don't. Everybody does it. Everybody does it.
Yeah.
But at some point in time, like in our lifetime, I assume we will see a way where piracy does get attacked in a different way and prevented in a different way.
Yeah, I know that they're doing a lot of lobbying right now. Like UFC, NBA, NFL, they're doing like they're doing a lot of lobbying to try and like crack down on piracy.
And I get it. I 100% get it because they're missing out on that. Like they could be making even more money than what they are.
Yeah. Well, in Dana White's side of it, I didn't get to finish like my full thing, but like Turkey Al Sheikh, that's Turkey Al Sheikh's side. Like lower the price, people buy it. People don't buy it because they don't have the money.
And
Dana said you got to prosecute these motherfuckers. Is what he said.
But could you imagine though if we all got an email like, yeah, guys, we're actually be lowering our pay-per-view price and our ESPN Plus subscription for the year. Everybody would be happy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they'd be completely glad to play the price again, but they'll be like, okay, well, I can live with that. It's like, damn, it's cheaper now. Let's go.
Look, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this. But they would earn so much goodwill, but they don't give a shit about goodwill. The only thing that corporations like the UFC care about is profit and improving that profit.
And also
margin.
the other big thing,
that's why they keep on cutting. Half of the roster is full of guys we can't even fucking name now because of that.
Another thing though, dude, I wish we knew these pay-per-view numbers. Do we know any rumors or anything? Do you know any rumors?
Have completely gone away for a variety of reasons. Like now they're behind ESPN Plus and also internet in there. Like for example, the guy that used to report them was Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, and he still does that occasionally. But even his estimates are like he'll do them for boxing events, and it's like, hey, this estimate is just a very broad estimate. Because we don't even have streaming numbers. We don't have people who bought it online. We don't have people who did this or that. So, like, we have no estimates anymore, really.
So, like, now, like, so the numbers he gets are, like, TV buys.
Yes, correct. He gets TV buys. But TV buys are, like, it's 2024. Who has cable?
Yeah.
I don't have cable. You have cable?
No. Most
people I know don't have cable. My mom has cable. Old people have cable.
Oh, yeah, they do.
They do. I don't have cable. So, come on, So... it's impossible to tell. Not impossible to tell, but it's very difficult to tell.
Do you know any of the rumored numbers for this past pay-per-view?
No.
Or for any of the past ones?
No, I haven't heard shit.
Do you even know any for 300? Nothing?
I think 300. The rumor was right around $1 million, right around, but or 1.1 or something. But like that's the last time I heard an estimate. And even then, that was like a estimate like a few days afterwards. So I don't know how
So it's very
reliable that is.
So the only people who have these actual numbers are the UFC.
Essentially UFC and ESPN.
Do you think we'll ever get these numbers released or anything? Or is there any way to get them or access them?
If the UFC gets sued again, like for example, in the lawsuit we've
did we find out how much people were literally making?
And like the literal pay-per-view like buy rates for some of them. Like UFC 100, I think that was rumored to be like 1.6 for the longest time, and I think like the exact number was like 1.1 or something, like way off. And there were a few cards like that came out. So I don't know. I think like, and there were some that were bigger than reported. Like I think 246 Connor Cowboy ended up being like 1.3, and that was reported as like not 1 million at the time. So like an additional 300,000. These are all just rough estimates. Like I don't remember the exact numbers, but you get the idea.
I wonder why they don't make these numbers public.
Because it would be a bad look for some of them.
Oh yeah,
UFC 301. Come on, man. Like,
the start of the year.
No, that would have been
298.
297 was the start of the year. That was Strickland Duplessis. That one probably didn't do good. And 301, which was
what do you think that one did?
I mean, probably
300K.
300K isn't even bad. I take 200.
250.
Yeah, I mean, I think people vastly underestimate how. Like, for example, Sean Strickland is a draw in the MMA space, but I think
globally,
MMA fans would be surprised just how put off people are by a guy who's a former neo-Nazi. You know what I mean? So I think that probably, and Duplessis is not a huge name either. So I think that one probably did.
He's growing
worse.
though.
Yeah.
So,
Especially after beating Izzy. I mean, he's taken off. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's just my opinion. Anything else we want to go ahead and talk about before we close out of here, man?
Man, that was it. Dang.
That was a fun show. About an hour and a half. A bit of a long one, and with only one card too.
I mean, I really hope that we come back to a lot of news because we're coming back to I believe UFC France card.
Correct. UFC France, headlined by Nasruddin Imavov.
And then a week later, we come back to UFC 307.
Salt Lake City, the Mormons.
Yeah, with the Mormons. It's gonna be a crazy card. They put it together. I remember a few months back we were kind of shitting on it because we're like, dude, what are they gonna do?
Yeah,
it
looked bad for a moment.
It's bad. There's nothing. It's chalk. No one's available.
And sure enough, Powhatan.
I gotta give credit, like, dude, yeah, like no matter what, I'll give credit to UFC. Somehow they pull it out of their ass. They pull it out of their fucking ass somehow, dude.
Yeah, they really did. They clutched up. But yeah, man, can't wait for that card. Can't wait to come back with an actual card to preview. That's always fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed, man. We are actually fun thing. You don't know this. We are 14,000 views away from 1 million on the channel. So
we closed in that hard recently.
Yeah. So we're locked in, and hope you guys enjoyed this video. Help us get there, man. We're not even close to 1 million subscribers, but we just want to hit the view marker, man. 1 million on the views. That's real nice, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter. He's at Angel Ortega _01 at Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next week. Peace.